Greetings builders, Daniel here, and today I have a very special video for you guys. You see, the brand new Affliction League is going to be reviewed tomorrow, and for that reason I'm gonna share with you 3 builds that are too strong for their own good, and are my top nerf predictions for the upcoming months. Stay tuned during the next days. With the proper review and patch notes, I'm gonna release a series of videos with the starter builds for you to have a great experience during the Affliction League. I'm sure some of you already guessed our first build of today. It's of course the Venom Gyre Deadeye with the Ranger class. Venom Gyre is one of my favorite builds of all time, but that's no reason for me to pretend that it isn't unbalanced. It's not only capable of an incredible clear speed, but also delete bosses with an unfair shotgun effect. All of that with a cheap build that doesn't need any mandatory unique item.
For clear speed, I'll give this build 10 out of 10. The Venom Gyre projectile already has an expansive nature for the amount of time it stays dealing damage on screen. Now, with a Deadeye that grants a lot of speed and many buffs to projectiles, the result is what you're seeing on this tier 16 gameplay. The boss damage is also a 10 out of 10. You can use Vol Venom Gyre to instantly have 50 stacked projectiles and delete bosses with an amazing shotgun effect using whirling blades on them. For this survivability, I'll give it 9 out of 10. This build counts with over 80,000 effective HP because of high armor, high evasion, spell suppression and block chance.
Next, we have a starter build that can achieve high amounts of boss damage, clear speed and survivability with very low investment. The Frostblade Trickster with the Shadow class. Frostblade is a skill that naturally has an amazing clear speed because of the amount of projectiles it fires. Now, combining that with the natural tankiness of the Trickster, enemies and bosses frozen all the time, and the ridiculous amount of damage provided by the unique helmet Heat Shiver, this build easily becomes a farming machine just in a few days after the start of a new league. In my opinion, Heat Shiver should be nerfed for the unfair amount of damage it provides for such low investment. For clear speed, I'll give this one 9 out of 10. As mentioned before, you have 7 Frenzy charges and a huge effect of elusive that grants this build a lot of extra movement speed. Besides that, Frostblades can also kill a lot of enemies at once. The boss damage is also amazing and deserves 10 out of 10. With very little investment, you are going to turn bosses into popsicles and kill them in less than a second. It's just incredible. For this survivability, I'll also give it 9 out of 10. This build has over 100,000 effective HP because of high armor, evasion, spell suppression, fortify, and even a trickster buff that causes you to take 40% less damage. Above all of that, your enemies are going to be always frozen, so it will be hard for you to die. Finally, we have an Ascendancy that received some change and became so strong that outshines all its alternatives. As an example of its build, here's the Summon Raging Spirit's Guardian with the Templar class. Here we have another league starter build that is simple and cheap to get. However, the amount of tankiness and damage provided from the new Guardian Ascendance is just too much to make players even think about Necromancer as an alternative. The new Guardian Ascendance counts with a minion that takes 20% of the damage that was addressed for him, and the damage auras Anger, Hatred and Wrath totally for free. I believe that this should be balanced in 2 possible ways, or nerfing the Guardian or making the Necromancer more appealing for minion builds. Because after all, it's a Necromancer we're talking about here. For clear speed, this build gets 8 out of 10. This is because you have to keep resummoning your Raging Spirits, but as you can see, even though this clear speed isn't super fast, it's perfectly fine for you to play and have a good time. The boss damage is great, it's a 9 out of 10. If you apply all the buffs and maintain 20 Spirit Summon, you will easily reach over 15 million DPS. More than enough to decimate all endgame bosses in seconds. For this survivability, I'll give it 10 out of 10. This is because we're talking about a minion build where you just need to summon them and wait behind while they destroy and tank everything for you. You just need to mind your position. But with this build, even if they manage to reach you, you still have high armor and block chance, resulting in an effective HP of over 140,000. And that's it for today guys, I hope you've enjoyed this special video and I'd like to ask you to tell me in the comments your own nerf predictions. I hope to see you all tomorrow for the exciting Affliction review, and please don't forget to leave a like to support the channel. I wish you guys an amazing day, and don't forget to keep building!